Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing and explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today the topic is why you seek, how to find. So if you consider yourself perhaps a relentless seeker, or you are somebody who's been striving towards certain goals in your life, whatever those goals may be, whether it's relationship goals, body goals, money goals, work goals, purpose goals, any goals at all. You've been striving, you've been trying to figure out how to arrive, but you never quite arrive. Or if you relate to being really a hardworking, hard ethic sort of person, you're not afraid of hard work. But if you really stop to think about it, you consider that maybe you're on a hard work treadmill and you don't know how to get off that treadmill, and you don't know how to actually stop all the hard work and receive what it is that you've been wanting all along. So if this energy of seeking, that you're always seeking, sounds familiar to you, and you'd like to understand more about how to find what you've been seeking, I really think you're going to love what we're going to talk about today. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I mentor hardworking, goal-oriented, ambitious people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And the way that I do this is I teach one skill, one primary skill: how to receive. Because if there's one thing that I've learned after 2 decades and more of coaching, most ambitious goal-oriented people are simply lacking this skill. Most ambitious goal-oriented people don't know how to receive. And so this, in fact, becomes the cause of their upper limit issues. And once we learn how to receive this unfamiliar yet very natural, powerful skill, all kinds of things can flood in that we're on the other side of our upper limit. Hi, Colette. Great to see you. It's good to be back. So today we're going to talk about this topic of this upper limit issue where you're seeking, but cannot find. Now today, a little bird, my inner voice, told me that I needed to start with something a little bit different. So I wanted to talk a little bit about myself so you understand where this is coming from. Because once we get into the topic of the seeking and the finding, you'll see that we're going to approach it from maybe a less familiar place than you're used to, especially if you're ambitious and goal-oriented. So I wanted to just let you know a little bit more about myself and where I'm coming from with these ideas and these teachings. So I myself am a self-proclaimed relentless seeker. And I went on a walk just before Rise and Receive today, and I was thinking, if there was an Olympic event for seeking, I just may have been a gold medal winner because I was absolutely relentless. And part of it was that in my household, I was valued and validated and approved of and got a lot of attention for my intellect and for my capacity to achieve. And I know that that's actually true for a lot of ambitious, goal-oriented people. And even if you're not ambitious or goal-oriented, many of us get our sense of value for what we do and how we perform versus who we are. That's less familiar. That's a foreign concept. So that's my upbringing and my nature. And what that looks like is I set on a path to be valuable, right? To earn a place in the world. And I did it through lots of high achieving. So I got a business degree in finance. And my first job out of college, I was trading stocks and bonds very quickly. I became an assistant vice president at a brokerage firm, an institutional brokerage firm. Then I decided I'm dying a spiritual death here. So I moved across the country, and then I pursued my graduate degree, and I got a master's in social work, and I did all kinds of other alternative types of training in between, a lot of leadership development, having a full-time volunteer job on top of a full-time working job where I was leading an entire region of women who were training in leadership and tapping into their power. I was president and co-owner of a vineyard, an award-winning vineyard. I forget what else. Lots of high-achieving sorts of things. Okay, so I just wanted to illuminate that because what I'm going to talk about is going to be a little bit foreign if your approach to finding the things you want has been to work hard and seek and achieve and figure out with your mind. Because as you're going to discover, it's not about that. So here I was seeking, achieving, working hard, ambitious, and goal-oriented. And yet I always felt like I wasn't arriving. No matter what, I couldn't get to that sense of, I've arrived, I figured it out, I have the things I want. Even when I achieved big things, I got married when I thought it wasn't going to happen for me. I overcame bulimia, I overcame infertility. So I would achieve. And yet that feeling of fulfillment kept eluding me. Ultimately, my seeking paid off because I was guided to a number of teachers and the spiritual teachers, and I started receiving this little message. Now, this message did not register with my brain, but I kept hearing it. And the key message was, stop. Stop the seeking. Well, that's really not a helpful thing if you're a hard worker and you're a seeker, because all you know how to do is how to seek and how to work hard. So what good is stopping? So my mind would hear those words, but I didn't know what to do with it for a very long time. But what you focus upon flourishes. And I kept returning to that and returning to that and returning to that. And unbeknownst to me, simply by accident, which it wasn't an accident, it was that I just kept placing my attention accidentally in the right place. One day, in the midst of a whole bunch of hard work, I heard a voice, Sonia, stop. Just stop. And furthermore, I heard the little voice that said, simply be. Because my question was, well, what do I do if I stop? Okay. So that is what led me to what I'm going to talk about today. So let me just check my notes here. All right. So I talked about how I was valued for my intellect. And so that's all I knew how to do, was to be smart and hardworking. And so I kept seeking the answer. So what that brings us to today is a blind spot that I'd like to illuminate. And that is what I call the seeking blind spot. Now, blind spots, as we know, is when your current point of view hides an essential insight. And because it's blind to you, you don't even know you have it unless somebody points it out to you. So I'd like to give you a clue. You know that the seeking blind spot may be sabotaging your efforts with your goals, with finding the things that you've been working hard for, with surpassing your limits, if you're trapped in seeking mode. You're just seeking, and never arriving. Again, like that treadmill, you're walking for eternity, but you never actually get anywhere. You're just walking. You're on that treadmill forever. So if you feel like you're trapped in that, now you can think to yourself, oh, maybe I'm suffering from the seeking blind spot. So what is happening when you are in seeking mode? Okay. One of the presuppositions that we work from here is that your consciousness creates your reality. So that's everything in your inner world, whether you're conscious of it or not. Everything happening in your inner world, your beliefs, your expectations, your feelings, your memories, your conditioning, your expectations, conscious, unconscious, all senses, feelings, everything in your inner world is as a sum total creating your reality. And when you are seeking, the consciousness beneath the seeking, what I call the because, which is your true consciousness, is I am seeking, I am looking for something I don't have. Something I don't have is the consciousness that is creating your reality. That is why you seek. Because you think you don't have something and you want it. So you are going to forever create more seeking of the thing you don't have, and you'll keep manifesting not having, not arriving, because that's the consciousness that you are embodying. So what is the solution? Well, part of it is understanding that finding is not about finding something you think you don't have, because that's more of the same. Finding is actually stopping the seeking and receiving, and here's the two words, actually and already, what is actually already here. We don't assume that what you want isn't here because you'll keep having that consciousness, that experience. You start to become willing to consider that what you want, your fulfillment, is already here. And if you start to become willing to believe, to consider, to discover how it's so that what you want is already here, now your attention is focused on receiving what is already here. So we shift from seeking, we stop the seeking, and we start receiving. Now, to make this even clearer to you, I really want to point out something else. The problem is in the seeking here. Okay, it's the problem with seeking is not that you can't find what you're seeking. Now, here's a big one. The problem is that you believe that seeking is the way to find what you think is missing. Seeking will never give you what you're looking for. Seeking will never lead to finding because seeking is seeking. Okay, that's what seeking is. Seeking begets more seeking. Finding is about stopping the seeking. Talk about paradox. To actually understand that in order to receive what you want, you must stop. Stop the seeking. Now, if you're an overfunctioner, if you're an overdoer, if you're an ambitious, goal-oriented person, and all you've ever known and been valued for is seeking, achieving, and working hard, this is going to probably feel uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me until I received what was already here, which was an understanding of what becomes possible when you finally stop. And that is that you start to tap into the power of being. Being is what happens when you stop seeking. Being is what is already here. You are a human being when you stop seeking. And when you tap into the power of being, which is already natural, which is why receiving is so simple. It's just forgotten. It's a little familiar. You need a little bit of guidance to remember. When you tap into that, just like the majestic tree, you become able to receive all of life. Everything that is already here, always has been, is actually already here, always has been. It's been waiting for you to receive. Again, you cannot receive what you most want if you don't know how to receive. So most of what we do at the Receive community, with the Receive Oracle cards, with the 30-day challenge, with the Receive experience, everything about receiving, that one skill, is a lot of stop. Notice when you're seeking, stop. Notice when you're seeking, stop. Breathe. Shift into receiving what is here. As you practice that, you start to relax into the ease of human beingness, the ease of receiving. Yes, there's a little bit of understanding some tricky things that the mind doesn't like, which is, well, if I'm going to just keep receiving all day long, how do I receive the things I don't like and I don't want? Because that's part of receiving too. You have to keep the flow going, because otherwise what we do when we're in hard work mode is we receive things we don't want and we do this. Stop, go away. I'm either going to kill you, I'm going to fight, or I'm going to flee, or I'm going to protect myself, and that blocks the flow. So we learn how to nurture ourselves when the don't wants come in, instead of trying to fix the problem, which then blocks the flow. Let me just clear away my little phone thing there. So that's what we do. And that's why surpassing your limits with ease and speed can be so easy and so fast, because everything is already right here. It's just a bit unfamiliar. So if you like this, I hope that you will like, share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Check the links above and below and practice receiving with me. Come join me. The best place to come to is the Receive community. I'll include a link here on Facebook. And I just wanted to share today's card from the Receive Oracle card deck, which is another great way to receive. Okay, just go to Amazon.com. You'll find it. This is the card for today. Simply be. That's what happens when you stop seeking. So if you want to start noticing, I'm seeking, stop, then you can practice this affirmation. I am willing to wake up to all of the ways that I am constantly receiving. Put your attention on that when you're seeking. A dramatic shift of focus. Every time, eat it, breathe it, sleep it, you can't say it enough. I am willing to wake up to all of the ways that I'm constantly receiving and watch what happens. I'd love to hear. Come back next time for the next Rise and Receive, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.